Hello, good day everyone. In this video, I will be showing you SPSS interface in a brief. Yes, we want to launch our SPSS and look at how and check the features that it has for our analysis. And so this is my SPSS. This is the icon. I always like to have it on my desktop. I don't like pinning it to my taskbar here or to the start button. I don't always like it. So I always prefer to access it through my desktop. So I will just double click on it here. So you can see it is rolling. SPSS at times used to take a few time before it opens. It depends on the storage of your PC. At times it will take about 2 to 3 minutes before it loads. And why in some situation when you have enough space on your laptop, it will take less than a minute for it to open up. So this is SPSS opening up now. This is the first thing you will see when your SPSS is about to open. And now this is it. For some of you, if you are opening it for the first time, it is going to give you a dialogue that, oh, this is new. It has just close it, and you can click don't show this in future in the future. So it is because I have closed that particular welcoming phase. That's why it is not coming up when I open this SPSS. And so this is how SPSS looks like, just like an Excel spreadsheet. But unlike an Excel spreadsheet, it has two views. This is variable view, and then we have data view. But let me still tell you that SPSS has three views. The first is variable view, the second is data view, and the third is output view. Yes, you won't be able to see the output view now because I have not run any analysis. The output view will pop up the moment you run any analysis or the moment you open up your SPSS and you save. So and the moment you do anything on SPSS and you save, the output view will pop up. And so let me quickly show us SPSS and PSPP in a brief. So this is PSPP. You can see this is PSPP. Let me zoom it so that you can see it. This is PSPP. You can see the interface. Look at it. It has file, edit, view, data, transform. You can see this is the data view of it. You can see variable, cases 1, 2, just like we have it in SPSS. And let me go back to SPSS so that you can also see that. You can see for this is SPSS. You can see variable, and the numbers. Check the variable view of SPSS. You can see we have name type, width, decimal, and let us also check it for PSPP. So I'm going to click on variable view. Yes, let me zoom it as well so that you can see. You can see I'm pressing on variable view. And so let's scroll up. You can see we have name, type, width, decimal, label, value, label, missing, just the way we have it for SPSS. Just the way we have it for our SPSS. So let me open the SPSS for us to see. Yes, so this is our SPSS. You can see the same thing, the same headings we have. So that means what you can do with SPSS, you can actually do it with PSPP. Just that the PSPP doesn't have the good graphical as SPSS. So let me show us SPSS in a brief. As I mentioned, SPSS have three views, and the first view is variable view, the second is data view, the third is output view. And I mentioned that the output view will pop up when you save your work on SPSS or when you run any analysis. So now I want to create a variable. So whenever you want to create a variable, let's say you want to collect the data. Well, you want to collect data and then part of the information you are getting is gender. So I'm going to be using gender as an example. So for gender, let me zoom it. So for gender, you can see where I am. So this is variable view. Check it. This is variable view. And so under the variable view, I want to create a variable that is called gender. And if I remove my icon from gender, you see automatically it gets filled up. And so in the master class, I'll be explaining what all this means. But for the purpose of this introduction, for the gender, then the gender doesn't need decimal, so you can reduce it to 0. For label, label is what show when you are performing any analysis. So I want the gender to still be gender. So I'm going to type gender again. So all this missing value, okay, all this missing, I'll be explaining it much more at the master's class, but I ensure that this free class will worth it. And for our gender, now under the value, value is where you put the characteristics of your gender. So when we say gender, now when you launch a form, maybe Google form or a questionnaire, and you put gender, there is option that people will tick. Some will have it as male and female, right? While some people will have it as 3 options, that is male, female, or prefer not to disclose. So you have to define what your gender means. Now let's represent male by 1. And so we'll put male. So we add it. Let's represent our female by 2. So we put female. You click add. Can you see what I'm doing? The way I'm doing it. Then our label will be, our value will be 3. For 3, it will be prefer not to disclose. So prefer not to disclose. That means for all your respondents that are male, that means you will be representing them by 1, by figure 1. For your respondent that tick female, you will be representing them by 2. And for your respondent that pick 3, that said they don't prefer to disclose their gender, they will be represented as 3. And so we click OK. So let me return it to the normal face. You can see now. So this is our agenda. When we come back to our data view, we see something has changed. Do you recognize that the gender was not here before when I show us? And when I click on gender, you can see the information I have here, gender. You can see gender, the label is gender, the type is numeric, the measurement is unknown. So let's assume the first respondent is a male. So you put 1. So the moment you put 1, all these other variable, by the time you describe another variables, all variables you define will be shown on this top part. And so this data view is where you enter the response of each of your respondents, while variable view is where you describe your characteristics. And the output view, let me just perform one little something here to show us the output view. I'm going to move this here and I will just press OK. So I want to show us you can see now, output 1. You can see. So this is the output table. Output is where you get every command that you gave SPSS to give you. So any command, anything you want SPSS to do for you, you get the result on the output view. So thank you so much. This is SPSS interface in a brief. So I am here to answer your question. So feel free to ask any question for clarity. Thank you so much.